Welcome back to Boruto Anime Review, episode number 106. This one I'm reviewing the 107th episode anime, The Steam Scroll Ninja Scrolls, a battle between cats and dogs and cats. Yep, this one has Mary, my guy, and Kakashi. Well, of course she's basically, they had these to go to a particular village that has like a hot spring in it. And of course, this town's obsessed with cats and dogs. Yeah. Though Mary is basically worried that she only packed clothes for 2 days, that she really needs more clothes. Though that does get resolved next episode from the preview I saw for. Mm-hmm. And the whole thing with cats and dogs, and then it turns almost to a full-blown riot. Yeah, and the reason why this is because there's a lover spat between Kiba, making his first appearance in the anime since the last time in the series when they adapted a light novel, which was from episode, so it was like, I think last time here was episode 93. Yeah, that was his last physical appearance in the series. And Tamaki, who is Granny Cat's granddaughter. This is her first appearance in the anime itself, because her last physical appearance in the Naruto franchise was in one episode of the during the final arc of the Naruto Shippuden series, where she appeared for one episode where you had Kiba and Shino go get a wedding present for Naruto. Is basically a thing of honey. And you see her pop up for this one episode, and she doesn't appear again. I don't think she even, if I remember, I don't think she even shows up for Naruto and Hinata's wedding. No, not that I could think of, no. So this is the first time in relatively 2 years she's been seen on the air. Yeah, it's been 2 years, though I haven't, just like with the other light novel, I still have not read this light novel that these episodes are based on. Yep. And of course, Mary basically decided to just get these two to make up, and she spends the majority of the episode trying to do it. It was like first he tricks them with a fake letter, and then of course they're almost turned into a full-blown brawl, and then she forms like a god, the third god thing. Of course, they do explain the whole origin of this town is that they had this dog hot springs, where a traveler just traveling comes across a dog, tells the guy dig here, and starts with hot spring, and poof, starts up. The cat story, they also cats one, that pretty much the same thing though. Yeah, from what I can tell, it's like two different animation styles. The first one looks like it's pretty decent animation. You know, when it's like, wow, if you see this animation they use for the cat one, it looks very similar to that of what I've seen for an American studio. I think it's called Golden Pictures, I think it is. But it make these cheap, like very dirt cheap, from what I can tell from some footage I've seen of it, anime movies based on classic fairy tales. Yeah, very cheap animation. It's like that. It's based upon that style, especially when they show off this cat, this grayish whitish cat. And of course, think about this god, this particular god of destruction, this fire god of destruction. Oh yeah, and when they get to before the whole battle, they mentioned about Kiba, like be a veteran of the Fourth Great Ninja War. That is technically true. Didn't do a lot, not a lot of noteworthy things. Man, he just for like one battle of the war. Although the war itself was only 3 days long. Of course, when they had this, and of course Mary decides to use her father's lighter to bring about this gigantic demon. Well, making an illusion of it anyways, using a combination of fire and illusion magic. Trying to convince these two to basically calm down, and all of a sudden here's my guy just jumping up completely up in the air, just trying to kick it, and he has to kick in the wall, basically destroying the wall. And apparently no one is shocked. Apparently no one gets a reaction saying, oh look, it's my guy. Though apparently no one talks about his time during the war where he got into a brawl with Mandariccia. Yeah, which in the anime was one of the best fights of the whole entire series. And also by far one of the best fights of the entire Fourth Great Ninja War. A fight that lasted about 4 episodes, this particular fight between the two of them. It was an amazing battle. Though it ended with him nearly dying, though Naruto did pretty much save his life. Though it basically caused him to be crippled in a way, though he was still able to basically find nobody. He's able to stand, but he cannot walk. Yeah, my guy cannot walk. He can stand, but he cannot walk. Has acquired a wheelchair. Yep. And then eventually later on, after the whole thing is resolved, they pretty much reveal like the ending. It seems like this episode, last one seems like reveal like a lot of information about both Ashima and Koronai. Yeah. Also, and it was Kiba reacts to seeing Mary, but as for Tamaki, not the first time she sees her is when she's talking to her. I'm kind of like, wouldn't she say something to her when she's in the crowd? Yeah, it's just like nothing. And their conversation is so freaking brief. I mean, they only speak to each other twice the whole episode, and both times the conversation lasts roughly 30 seconds of screen time. Yeah, they get a lot of screen time to Kiba, but not to his smoking hot girlfriend who loves cats. Oh yeah, and this whole thing has started because of the cat hot springs and the dog hot springs. And also because he's a investigator for the Hidden League Police, he apparently can't afford to take a day off for some reason, so he's forced to take a day off to come to this hot springs. Like, let's go to this because it's man and woman's bath. Okay, fine. Though I'm kind of like, wouldn't Mary go with her because, well, it's a girl's bath. Why not save time? But nothing much to talk about. And of course, well, Kasha reveals how she. I mean, if you look at Mary, she physically looks almost exactly like her mother, but she has her father's personality. It's kind of similar to that with Naruto, where he physically looks like his father, but has his mother's personality. Yeah, it's very similar to these two. And I love the fact Kakashi loves referencing the whole thing with Ashima and, well, Koronai. They mention he uses fire jutsu, which last time I checked, he's known for using wind jutsu, not generally fire. Like, throughout the entire series, I have never seen Ashima ever use fire jutsu. Yeah, I'm like, where the heck did the anime side pull this out of? Because, like, if you look at, let's say, the third Hokage, was he ever known for using fire jutsu? No, he never was. I've never seen once in the series ever use fire jutsu. And apparently, oh yeah, and I get the fact, yes, the lighter was definitely Ashima's fine. That was burnt anyways. But last I checked, fire was not his standard. It was wind. Yeah, he set fires, but he's never using fire jutsu. He's never been known for that, as far as I know. I'm not sure where the heck Kakashi came up with that. Of course, Kakashi still hasn't told her about how her father died. Yep. Like, I would love to see a flashback to seeing Hedon. Though I wouldn't be surprised though if he actually does show up here, but they are going to the area where he was born. Maybe we'll finally learn this guy's backstory because here's the thing. Kishimoto gave nothing to this guy because the way they show up in the anime, the Akatsuki just randomly found him in the woods. And after battling him for a little while, of course, he still had his scythe he had. And of course, Jordan's at some convincing. Of course, he ditches his cool jacket for the Akatsuki jacket. You could have kept your other jacket underneath. Yeah, he was the only one who actually went around. Like, if you take off his Akatsuki robe, he's pretty much shirtless the whole time. Yep. But I'm definitely looking forward to next week's episode because it looks like it's going to be a haunted house episode. Plus, 1010 makes a return. Also, last time she appeared was the same episode as Kiba. Yeah, but at least this one looks like she's going to be here for the entire episode. Yeah, like last time she appeared for like one scene. Yeah, that was it. Like, she appeared for a quick, like, 3-minute scene, and then she's never seen again. That was the first time I had seen her at that point since the Chunin exam. And that episode, she only appeared, like, overall, if you look at basically her physical appearances, like, overall, she physically appeared about 3 episodes. Though, she has appeared in between, like, her appearance at the start of the Chunin exam arc, and, of course, that episode 93 was basically reduced to, like, 2-second cameos. At least in the case of next week, we're probably going to get a full episode with her. I would say this is probably the first time since her first appearance in this show that she's going to be here for an entire episode. Not for like 3 minutes or 2 seconds, but an entire thing. And this I actually heard about this. This is the plot of next week's episode was that she's going to bring Mary's luggage, which why not? And of course, in the sub referred to as Miss 1010. Not a bad idea, despite the fact she's roughly about 16 years older than she is, so it's fine. It's not really a big problem. Hmm. At least she's not referred to as an old lady. But here's the thing: Tenten is still smoking hot for a woman her age. Yep. Otherwise, that's really it. It's a okay episode, but I love the ending for it. The ending is probably by far the best part of the episode. Whether at the hot springs. Yeah, of course, Kakashi. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take another dip, and of course you have like I would say the last like 5 minutes of this episode is interesting because the whole thing with the cats and dogs battle thing, that was not interesting to me at all. I thought that was the most boringest part of this episode. Though it was interesting to see soldiers, troops from the Hidden Stone Village and the Hidden Sand Village. I thought that was interesting. They never mention it. That these two, like, viewer-wise, if it was a long-time viewer, they could tell that these people were dressed in red. Those are from the Hidden Stone Village, and the ones in like grayish purple, that is from the Hidden Sand Village. But as far as I can tell, they never say anything about it. Yeah, which is kind of weird. And no one points out though about the fact Kakashi and Might Guy are famous. Hmm. Yeah, that's the only other thing I didn't like about the episode is that nobody bothered to recognize, like, with the exception of Kiba. I mean, he was the only one who recognized Kakashi. Apparently, no one in this village know about Kakashi, despite the fact he's a world famous ninja and he was the former Hokage. Yeah, but yeah, but that's all I gotta say about this episode. But it's just an okay one. At least it's not terrible. Yeah. So that's it for this particular review. I have roughly one review to say, but it all depends exactly when in the world the next episode gets put up for Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, aside from that, I got nothing else to review today aside from that. When I get a chance to watch it, I'll probably watch it and upload it, okay? The review anyways, okay? But see you next video. Bye.